They didn't have room in there?
At this time, we're going to veer off our agenda for just a few minutes. If I could have Ryan O'Hara, Stephanie DeRusha, Michael Drabick, and Brock Crawford please come up over here. In the early morning hours of January 27th, 4 heroes were born. This particular morning on Darlington Road in Darlington Township, a fire broke out at a home of Richard Keith and his sister Patricia. 2 individuals who were driving down Darlington Road at the time were alert enough to see that there was something wrong at the residence and stopped to see if there was anything that they could do or any type of assistance they could render. One of the individuals went up to the house to see what the address number was so they could notify emergency services. And in the process of retrieving the house number, yells for help were heard from within the structure. These 2 individuals selfishly entered the burning structure and were able to assist Patricia Keith to safety. They were advised that her brother, Richard Keith, was still inside the burning home. Entry into the home was attempted a second time, but the fire and smoke were too overcoming. As the fire department arrived on scene, information was given to the fire department that Mr. Keith was still inside the burning home. 2 firefighters braved the severe heat and smoke conditions to enter the structure to see if they could locate the man, who was reported to be in the bedroom of the home. Using their training, they worked their way to the flame-filled bedroom, taking a hose line with them. They were able to knock down the fire enough that the room was entered and searched by both of them to locate Mr. Keith. He was not found. One of the firefighters began to search through the remaining bedrooms. Hearing numerous yells from people outside, they were able to locate Mr. Keith in the kitchen of the home and bring him out of the superheated structure to awaiting EMS personnel. Without the quick actions of these 4 people, 2 residents would surely have perished in the fire that morning. I would like to now show appreciation from the township supervisors as the chairman of the board to firefighter Brock Crawford, firefighter Michael Drabick, Ryan O'Hara, and Stephanie DeRusha for their life-saving actions on the morning of January 27th. Thank you. When I arrived on scene, there was fire coming out the front of the residence. We had reports that there was 2 individuals that were still trapped in the residence. A passerby had brought one individual out. Crews, upon our engine arriving, the crews made entry into the side of the building, went in, knocked the fire down. The second victim was located and brought out of the residence, turned over to EMS to be transported to the hospital.
Well, we were driving home from his dad's house, and his dad lives in Ohio, and we actually took a different route than we normally took, which was kind of the weird thing about it all. And Ryan said, "I think that house is on fire," and I said, "Well, we need to stop, pull over."
Walked up to the house and got the house number, and then she heard her screaming for help, so then opened up the door and went in.
I don't really remember opening the door, but I guess I opened it because she wasn't able to walk, and she was just laying there, and we both ran in and got her out because I wasn't able to get her by myself.
She couldn't walk, so we pulled her out and then wrapped her up, and she said, "My brother's still in there." I tried running back up on the porch, but the flames were too bad. And
we used our training and we pulled on scene, got our SCBA in place, and pulled an attack line off the truck and grabbed our tools, headed for the side door. We didn't have to use force entry, the door was open. We went in the door, did a right-handed search down the hallway towards the room where we were told the occupant was at in the fire. And we made our right-handed search there, made a knockdown on the fire. I searched the room, and then we switched positions, and Brock searched the room also. We didn't find the occupant. We turned around. I turned around while Brock kept the fire under control. I continued my right-handed search back the other way to check the other rooms that we had passed on our way in. And as I made it about 3/4 of the way back the hallway, I heard some yells from outside. And I made it back to the kitchen, and we found the guy and got him out.
The crews were able to locate the male victim inside the house in the kitchen, and a fireman and an EMS personnel were able to extract him from the residence and get him into an ambulance and transport him to the hospital.
It's nice to see for a change that the community for once is on our side. Usually everything you hear about them, they're against you, or in some places, as my primary department, the community is for you. It's based on them. Most people in that community are members of that department. It's nice to see that, and a little bit of a surprise to see that they were honoring us the way they did for doing something we are trained to do that we are more than willing to do for nothing. It's more than appreciated. It's something that I will always remember and cherish for as long as I'm in the fire service, and will always look back upon and look at what I did that day, and hopefully in the future have the ability to repeat that, and as well as save another life.
Makes me feel good. Made me feel like I completed my job. Did what I was trained to do. Makes you feel good.
I was just sitting at home thinking that it was all over with. I brushed it under the rug, and I helped somebody out, and then I got a call, and they asked me to come down here, that they wanted to honor me, and the community came together so much, and I really respect that. We don't have a lot of that going on around here anymore.
Basically found out that somebody wanted to talk to us about it, like the family of the two people in the house wanted to talk to us, so we just tried to get in contact with them, and we met this guy at a gas station, the neighbor, and I mean, we didn't really think much of it until we started talking to him, and then, I mean, he just walked up to us, he's like, "You guys are Ryan O'Hara and Stephanie," like he knew who we were, so it was kind of crazy, and I mean, we just never expected any of this. When we got the phone call to come down here tonight, it was just kind of a shock, but we appreciate it, and I mean, we would do it again if we had to.